Affordability and convenience are two aspects of a dental office, but I think there's a momentum within this industry where our approach is to focus more on how can we be more affordable or how can we be more convenient. And the problem is when we do that, we end up attracting people who value affordability and value convenience more than all the other aspects of dentistry which people can value. So by doing the work of becoming more affordable and more convenient, we end up attracting those people where affordability and convenience is their top priorities. And so no wonder when we get patients in the door, we deal with issues like patients becoming hesitant instead of moving forward, patients who are nickel and diming over all the treatment options. And I think you get the idea. So rather than choosing to serve a group of people who believe that affordability and convenience is at the top of their value ladder, what we can do is take a step back and say, who or what do people want besides affordability and convenience that we can lean heavily into? Who are those group of people and what do they want, right? And when we do that, we can start to lean into different things. So for example, I'm sure there's groups of people who have severe dental anxiety. And for those people, they might not care about affordability and convenience as much as about how they'll be treated at the office, how the office will take steps to mitigate their fear around dentistry. And so when you have, or when you can create a practice that leans into those value systems way more than affordability or convenience, you create a delta versus the other competitors who aren't that dialed in into that value system. And so there you can charge more because you are now the only office who provides dentistry in such a way that leans into such value that people are willing to pay more because it's worth it, because those people care. And of course, that's not going to be everyone. I'm sure people care about affordability and convenience. So one example for me is I don't believe in spending a lot on food. I like affordable food. I like convenient food. And so for me, I'm not someone who cares so much about a fancy dining experience. Yet there are at the same time people who care deeply about it, right? There's more to that than just the food that they're getting. And these are two very valid groups of people that you can choose to serve. The main question is, how do you want to serve them? How do you want to show up? What do you align with more? What is more meaningful to you? And if that's not becoming affordable and more convenient, then that's okay. You don't have to lean into that world. You can choose a group of people who are being underserved with their needs, who care about dentistry in a way that is not just about price, not just about convenience, and you can lean into that way of being that they would love to see. Because people, we can't really put we have a subconscious understanding of what we might want, but it's very difficult to verbalize. It's very, very difficult for us to build that for ourselves because of all the training and education that's required, because of all the work that has to be done beyond that. So when you can provide that to people, not only do you get more valuable because you're leaning into something they actually care about, but you also create remarkability. The idea that people will share the word about you to other people who want a similar thing. If someone has dental anxiety, they come in contact with your office and they see how aligned it is to their value system. People gain status by sharing things with other people if it's valuable to that other person. So if they come across someone else who has dental anxiety, and similar people typically hang around similar people with similar beliefs, then you get word of mouth. You get people in their social circles who are gaining status by connecting you with someone else who needs what value you bring. All right, so this is the big shift that we're seeing in marketing in general as the world shifts from scarcity to more of abundance, where we have enough providers, we have enough dentistry, we have enough of a lot of things. The trap is to show up as just another provider, to show up as a commodity, because in that sense, then you do have to focus on affordability and convenience, right? If you have two same things, what are you going to choose? You're going to choose the cheaper one or the one that is more convenient to you to get. But when we can do the work of not showing up as a commodity anymore, to find a group of people who care about dentistry because maybe they have some pains, maybe they have some anxieties, they're forced to care for some reason, and we can serve those group of people better than any other regular dentist. All right, so that's the new game that we have to engage with. So figure out, who is it that you seek to serve? What do they believe? What do they want? What are they desperately looking for beyond just dentistry? And fill that need, and you can reap the rewards of not just becoming more valuable. And when you become more valuable, like, we can travel now. We have planes, we have cars. If we see enough value, we can easily travel 2 hours to visit someone. And we're just not doing the work of doing that. And so that's why we rely so much on a small radius around our office. All right, so I implore you to do that work, to figure out who is it you seek to serve. What do they want? What do they believe is good and bad? And fill in those gaps for them. Be the provider of people's needs beyond the status quo, beyond what is already being done. And once you do that, you can be a leader in your field and you can reap the rewards of becoming remarkable. All right, that's it for this video. If you want to go more deeper into that concept, I'll have a link in the description with a free course that goes step by step through all the things you have to consider to become remarkable and to serve these people. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.